My first time on Xanax was a truly horrible experience. This video is a cautionary tale to hopefully prevent someone from making the same mistakes that I made and maybe living vicariously through my life for a couple minutes can help somebody somewhere somehow, and I'm just gonna be hopeful and hope that. So, hey. Anyways, um, if you're here and it's your first time, welcome. Strictly business. Um, you know, what I just said is kind of like my mission here. I'm just trying to use my experiences to hopefully maybe help someone not end up in one of these positions that nobody wants to be in. Like, nobody. And if you're coming back, thank you for coming back, man. You guys are what keeps me going. Just like, no offense to the new people, if there are new people, but like, just helps keep me going. I just want to leave it at that. Don't want to waste too much time. So, I'm going to get right into it. Okay, so this took place in June of 2008. Okay, so think about it. It's about to be 2025 in 3 years and like 6 months. That would have been 20 years ago. So this story is a 17 years ago old me. Okay, just remember that. So it happens to be the day that my brother is graduating from high school. And, like, that's a big deal, like, for anybody. So, me and him are the ages apart where when I was in sixth grade, when I entered sixth grade, he left for ninth grade. But when I went to ninth grade, we had 1 year where he was a senior and I was a freshman. And the funny thing is I'm not even joking or trying to, like, say anything like that, but I had more friends and knew more people in my brother's grade as seniors as a freshman than he did. Like, it was very common for me to meet someone, and I've always been called by my last name. So someone would be like, dude, I've heard that name before. Like, are you in my trigonometry class? And I'd be like, nah, nah, I'm not. And then I'd be like, I have an older brother though, and they'd be like, oh shit, like, and then like that happened to me so many times. So, anyways, um, so his friends, like, or I mean, they're they were my friends, but like, there were actually some people that like they knew him from a class and like they like were like, oh yeah, he's cool. And it surprised me because these guys were like, or it didn't surprise me because these guys were really chill, but it surprised me because my brother is not a very social, he wasn't a very social person like back then, like, at all. So these guys like saying like, oh shit, yeah, what's up, like they like knew, like it wasn't like a questionable thing. It was like, oh shit, you're his little brother, what's up, like, and they're like two of the coolest dudes I've known, and I don't blame them for anything. But I can remember talking about bars in his garage, okay, and I remember him saying, when I take one, I'm cool, but if I take two, then I black out. And man, oh man, if I could have listened to that, like, if really like took that to heart, like, shit, I don't even know what my life would look like right now, to be honest. Like, of all the different stuff that's happened since now and then, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, he did. He did say that. So we're in his like garage and everything, we're hitting the bong, whatever, and then like it's like the night before the graduation. So the day of graduation, I know, like, I get out of school and like I can't remember if like I was still in school or we were already out yet. But regardless, I was at my homie's pad that lived like, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes like away from the school. And I had to be there at a certain time, you know. And I had my skateboard. So I was like, oh, okay, I got my skateboard. I'm cool, you know. So I'm skateboard like I got way ahead of myself. So while I'm at the homie's house, I take a bar for my very first time. Take one bar, and I remember taking it and smoking and sitting there, and time going by, and being like, I don't feel shit, and like I had taken like ecstasy at that point and shit, you know. So like I know like I've waited like an hour or like painkillers, whatever. I've waited like I know like 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, an hour. Like I know it takes around then. So I'm like, I don't feel anything. I'm gonna take another one. Like I said, should have listened to that fucking advice. Didn't. So, and this is like the classic like edible mistake, like fucking shit. I could go on and on for how like many like mistakes like this is. So I take another one, and then we smoke more, whatever. By the time I know it, oh, God, oh, I wonder how that happened. By the time I know it, um, I gotta go. I fucking like I really gotta go, you know. So I'm like, peace out, and I go, and like where I have to go, I have to cross like one of the biggest intersections in my city, like for sure one of the biggest cross streets, like for sure. Like supermarkets are around, and like just like the mall and all this stuff. Okay, and I'm skateboarding, and in the middle of the street, I just I lose my balance. I didn't hit a rock. I didn't. It was there was nothing I can blame this on. Nothing at all. I lost my balance completely, and I fell forward onto my face, and I scraped my face. I wish I had a picture. I scraped my face right here, like right here, on straight up the gravel of the street, like, and I cleaned. I like so I like that happens, and my face is dripping blood. Okay, my face is dripping blood, and I'm like, I get my skateboard and I walk across the rest of the street because I still have to do that. And when I'm walking, I get like 10, 15, 20 feet down. And right there's this little grass area that goes down a couple feet, and then there's like a drop that's maybe like 4 or 5 feet that goes down. And there was a place called Baja Fresh. I have a feeling it went out of business or something. I don't know. It's not there anymore. But it was right there. And I went in there to Starbucks. Big surprise. And I went in there, and the bathroom was locked. And I didn't think to ask for the key, which, you know, all things considered, who know, I really don't know. Maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't have. I don't know. But instead of doing that, you want to know what I did? I decided, hey, there's a soda dispenser right there. It has a water option on it, right? That should work, right? Yeah, yeah, that was my bright idea at the time. So I take my whole ass head, and I stick it underneath the little soda thing, and I have my hand. I take my hand and I put it on the water, and I'm trying to like put the water first. But when I'm putting my head close into it, my head is hitting all the different things. I'm getting Mr. Pibb, and I'm getting like Coke and like all this stuff in my hair too, like Sprite, like you name it. And like I'm just like I can't imagine how many people's meals I ruined that day. Like that was probably like mid. I don't know, maybe like between. That was definitely between like 3 and like 6 o'clock. So it was probably like a afternoon meal, man. And like almost like I went in there and then like that happened and I kind of realized like dude like I don't want like soda in my shit like like as if the clearest way you can think when you're like that so I like take some napkins and I'm just like trying to like dry the blood off by the time I get home, which is not far. Like I didn't have a long ways to go. um, Actually, no, I wasn't going home. I was going to the high school. And the high school, I didn't have a long ways to go because my house was very close to the high school. So either way, it was not a far like mission to go. So my face is all bleeding. I'm trying to make it look the best I can. I do go to my house to make myself try to look as best I can, but like you can only do so much, especially in a state like that. And I was probably like, I look great, and I looked all fucked up. So I end up going to the graduation that's being held at the local high school. Okay, I go there by myself, and I sit down. Like I meet I have a LG chocolate phone at the time. This will be important. Remember that LG chocolate phone. Okay, I have an LG chocolate phone, and I meet up with people are in town because my brother's graduating high school. So it's like my my other like my whole not my whole family because I don't have much, but some like family friends and some other people like that whatever are there, and but also my straight up blood aunt was there. Okay, that's another important thing to remember. So they're there, and something inside me, I don't know what it was, but I all of a sudden in the graduating thing, whatever, I went down like the bleacher cement step things. Like I went down to the very bottom one and I just slumped out. Like literally, like I put my arms on the thing like it was a big curb, and I put my back on it. And I can remember kind of like slumping, and I can remember like the loudspeaker and kind of like waking up and being like, oh, and like cheering for my brother and all that. Okay. So like I'm down there the entire time. I don't know what my family thinks or they're probably, they're busy, whatever. So like that happens. I see my brother real briefly. Don't really remember much of that. But on the field, everybody's on the field. Okay, everybody's on the field at once, right? Like as if somebody won a college football game or something. Everybody's on the field. So I'm on the phone with someone, and I have my LG chocolate phone. I'm on the phone, and I'm talking to someone and they like it's nonsense. Like it's not what I'm saying is nonsense, not what they're saying. What I'm saying is nonsense. Doesn't matter what I'm saying. I hang up the phone and I do one of those things where I don't know if this is a thing that happens to other people, but maybe it does. I thought I was putting it in my pocket, but I put it like in front of my pocket. So like when I let go of it, that shit was on the ground. So all of a sudden, I can't find my phone, and I'm like, oh shit, like oh man, like no, and and because I had I think I was trying to meet up with like my family or something, and we were trying to figure they were trying to figure out where I was. Like shit, I didn't even know where I was, but so like I dropped the phone, and all of a sudden someone like I'm like kind of like looking for it and stuff. So all of a sudden this lady taps me on the back, and she has my phone in her hand, and she's like, "Hey, did you drop this phone?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yes, thank you so much, I appreciate it." But I was probably like, "Thank you," so she gives me the phone back, and I call again to like either my brother or someone to meet up, and I'm trying to like, we're by the flagpole, we're by this, like I'm like trying to like, figure it out. All right, I'll see you guys later. I hang up the phone. I put my phone away. I do the same thing again. I do the same thing, and I fucking put my phone in front of the pocket and I let go of it, just like, and I drop it again. And then another dude, now it's an Asian guy, he comes up to me and he, like, I think he saw it happen or something because he's handing it to me. Like, he's not asking if it's mine. He's like literally like handing it to me. And I'm just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, that's two times I've lost it. Like, fuck, you know? But of course, that thought only lasts maybe 5 or 10 milliseconds in your head. So I call again, and like I explain, hey, I lost my phone like twice. Like I'm trying to figure this out. Like, where are you guys? We're at the car. Meet us at the car. I'm like, all right, they're in the parking lot. So I totally missed, like, literally. It got to the point where I was like, just meet us in the parking lot, like, which was like still a fucking mission at that. So I'm like, all right, and I put my phone in my pocket, and I do that shit for a third time. And I'm not even fucking joking with you. I wish I was. I'm not. And this time, no lady comes. No Asian guy comes. Nobody comes. I walk to the car, in the parking lot, without a phone because I had to go and I could not find that shit. 'Cause finally, somebody picked it up that was like, what? Like, which I'm surprised someone, that kind of just shows the time and where I was and everything. Like, but it's a high school graduation, but these days you never know. So, like, I end up going back, like, to the car, and I don't know if I said this earlier, but this has ramifications still to this day. Okay. So I go back to the car. Everyone's there. They're mad. They're mad at me. Like, I can feel the vibe. I remember that. I can feel the vibe in the car. They were mad at me probably because I was totally gone for the entire thing. So we get back to the house, and like, everybody's there. But the most important thing is my blood aunt is there. Now, just a little context. Like a year or 2 or 3 or something, me and my brother stayed with her where she stayed at up in Sacramento. And something happened where something broke, and it was like a bike, like, bell or something like that. And she blamed it on me, and I brought a skateboard with me that year, and like, like, it's like, it made no sense. And like, she said I broke a DVD player. Like, she basically said all this stuff worked before, like, I came, and after I came, everything was messed up. So, like, I wasn't in the mood for holding my tongue that day. And she lived, like, before, she lives far away, so I don't see her that much before that. She's always been on the East Coast completely, so I don't see her a lot. So, like, this day was a different type of day. I guess you could say I had time that day. Yeah. So she's sitting back and she's calling me a thief. She's calling me a liar. She's calling me everything that you could think of. Like, and this is my blood aunt, like blood. My dad's brother, my dad's sister, brother. Like, I got some uncles too from his side as well, but this is his sister. Okay, so she, like, is like freaking out on me and all this stuff, and I explained to her, like, I didn't touch shit, I didn't do anything. I'm like, I'm not holding my, like, words or trying to be polite or anything. Like, at that point, of course, no filter. So, like, I end up going on because she, like, kept going and perpetuating it. And then I finally told her straight up, I told her to fuck off. And I remember her, like, gasping, like, as if someone would talk to her like that. Like, she was that kind of lady. Like, she's probably like a Karen before Karens were Karen. But she was like, and I was like, fuck off. Like, I didn't do shit at your house. I didn't want your little DVD player. I brought a skateboard. You're accusing me of a bike. Like, what the fuck? I was like, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. And I think it was extra embarrassing for her because there were like other like extended family members and people and stuff. And so, like, it was definitely like some sort of a scene that, like, I don't know. I don't know how it looked. Obviously, I'm fucking Frankenstein type shit. Dog. So, anyways, like, I tell her like, fucking just leave me alone. Like, fucking like, fuck off. And like, like, I don't know what else I said, but not good stuff. Okay, but the fact that she was holding on to it for years. That's why I was like, God damn, like, let it go. Like, and like, even past this, there was another time she was staying with us, and I opened the door, and immediately she started screaming at me, and I left, and I went away. Like it's crazy. So, like I said, still, and to this day, if she mails me like a birthday card or something, I think she feels bad, so she'll send me like $50 or something like that, and like she's trying to like buy, she's like, for $50. Whoa, I'm gonna go buy a pack of baseball cards. Like, not to say $50 isn't shit, but still, you know, like, to like try to like make up for like kind of like fucking up. Not exactly the greatest. Just saying. But I don't know what she was working with. Whatever. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but she's definitely like trying to buy like my love, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word. And that shit don't work like that in my world, personally. I don't know about you, but not me. So, like, that happens, and like that shit, like I said, to this day, it's still like that. And that was like, I had to change. I remember having to find a phone, which was hard back then because Verizon like made it hard to change your number from phone to phone because we didn't have SIM cards. So I had this like chocolate that I called in that ended up being reported stolen, so that didn't fucking work. So shout out to you, person who sold me that phone that I'm not gonna name, girl. Um, and I end up having to like change my number, or I get a new phone, and like it. I really don't know what was. I think there was so much going on at the time that it kind of just like got disregarded, maybe, or whatever. Like, it didn't really turn into a whole thing, which, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if it did, to be honest with you. Like, and you know, I can imagine, like, I can remember, like, there's probably like 10 people, 10, 12 people inside my house. And at the time, the house I was living at was very small, so there was not a lot of room. And I know I went to my room and I stayed in my room for the rest of the night instead of, like, you know, being out there and like drinking champagne with people and like celebrating and like, stuff like that. Like, I was like just like being a little dickhead like the whole time. So, anyways, that was my first time on Xanax, and how it really like should have taught me a lesson right there. And I should have listened to. And when my mutual friend of my brother and I's found out about this, he was like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have told you to do that, man. I got it." And he would actually apologize to my brother and be like, "Hey, like, I told him to do that. My bad." Like, he like actually, because my brother was really pissed off too, and he actually like I didn't even know he did it. And my brother came up to me one day and he was like finally like kind of cool with me, and I was like, "Whoa," like, So, anyways, that was the story, and like it was like it was not cool. And if I had to learn right then and been like, I'm not gonna fuck with that shit anymore, too much happened too fast, then I'd be in a different spot. Can't say better, can't say worse. I don't have a crystal ball. But what I can say is I've been to jail, I've been in car accidents, I've been kicked out of school, all after this incident, and all involving Xanax. So you can be the fucking judge on that or whatever. I don't know. So, anyways, peace out.